Welcome back to The Explainer. Today we're tackling a really fascinating topic. Why did ancient humans start losing their perfect vision? I mean, have you ever wondered why so many of us need glasses today? Okay, let's dive right into this and see how our modern world literally reshaped human biology.
So here's the core question we need to answer. Why exactly did our vision change? Think about it for a second. Our ancestors had eyes that were perfectly built for tracking fast-moving prey in the wild. Yet today, half of us need specialized lenses just to clearly see a friend waving from across the room. What in the world happened between then and now?
Well, to figure that out, we've got to look back. For hundreds of thousands of years, humans lived in a world completely different from the one we know today. It was a world of incredibly wide horizons. Our ancestors spent the vast majority of their lives outdoors. They were out tracking animals across open landscapes, constantly looking way, way out into the distance.
For all those hundreds of thousands of years, human eyes were specifically engineered for this expansive, outdoor lifestyle. They absolutely thrived on a constant stream of movement, tons of bright natural sunlight, and vast, wide horizons. That was the original biological baseline for human vision.
It was a visual system that worked flawlessly for our survival in the wild. But then something changed. Humanity was about to undergo a massive behavioral shift. See, we started out as nomadic hunter-gatherers, scanning those endless horizons. But then we settled down. We developed agriculture, we built permanent cities, and eventually we created something that completely transformed how we use our eyes. The invention of writing. That right there, that was the ultimate game changer for our biology.
Because with writing came clay tablets, scrolls, and eventually books. And it's actually fascinating when you stop and think about it. For the very first time in human history, instead of constantly scanning the horizon for a wild predator or a fleeing meal, people began staring strictly at tiny little marks on objects held just mere inches from their faces. And they did it for hours on end.
Over generations, this brand new close-up lifestyle profoundly changed the physical demands placed on human vision, and that brings us to myopia, also known as nearsightedness. Basically, this is a condition where you can see nearby objects really clearly, but you struggle to focus on distant objects.
The evolutionary shift here is just striking. On one hand, you've got our original state, which was scanning distant landscapes out in natural sunlight. But on the other hand, you have our new state, which is focusing intensely on close objects, mostly indoors. Ancient humans rarely suffered from myopia, simply because their daily lives kept them entirely in that first state, outside, looking far away, bathed in natural light.
Now today, scientists understand that our vision is shaped by a combination of things. While genetics certainly play an important role in determining our eyesight, the environment matters immensely. It's this critical catalyst. Basically, genetics plus a specific kind of environment equals myopia.
We can actually break this down into a really simple environmental formula. When you spend less time outdoors, and you combine that with doing more close-up activities, the result is a significantly increased likelihood of developing myopia. It perfectly explains why children today, who, let's face it, spend a lot less time outside, are far more likely to develop nearsightedness.
As civilizations advanced, our relationship with the natural world completely shifted. Schools, books, screens, and these largely indoor lifestyles, they just didn't exist for our ancient ancestors. But today, they're the modern normal.
And this brings us to a really profound realization. The same intelligence that allowed humans to create writing and technology also transformed how we use our eyes. I absolutely love this because it completely reframes the narrative. Think about it. It was our own human brilliance, our push for progress, that ultimately changed our biology.
So the absolutely crucial point I want you to take away from this explainer is this. Our vision was not broken. It is so important to understand that nearsightedness isn't some sort of sudden biological failure for humanity. Not at all. It's simply adapted to a new world. It's actually incredible how resilient our eyes are. We just traded hunting across endless sunlit landscapes for a life of looking down at words, pages, and illuminated screens. We built an entirely new environment, and our bodies brilliantly adjusted to the exact tasks we gave them. In fact, let's just take a second here. Are you looking at a screen right now? Yeah, probably. Your very act of watching this explainer is a perfect, real-time example of this exact evolutionary shift. You are literally participating in the modern normal right at this very moment.
Which leaves us with one final super fascinating question to chew on. What will our eyes adapt to next? As our technology continues to evolve, so too might our biology.
So when this explainer wraps up, maybe take a moment to just look out a window. Focus on that distant horizon and ponder the incredible journey of human vision.